Ladies and gentlemen, for the last scene of the night, we're going to do a pop-up storybook for you all. We're going to have our improvisers here create the scenes of the pop-up story. And it's going to be a story that you've actually never heard before, because it's a story that we've never heard before, and it's a story that we're going to create together right now. To help us with this, could I please get a title of a story that you have never heard before? Anybody? You there.
Mr. Melvin and the Unfortunate Peanut Butter.
Okay, Mr. Melvin and the Unfortunate Peanut Butter. This is a story that you've never heard. Mr. Melvin and the Unfortunate Peanut Butter. Obviously, you know, we're all familiar. It's just time that we sat down and read Mr. Melvin and the Unfortunate Peanut Butter. Well, hello, children, and welcome to story time. I'm so glad that you could join me. I'm so glad that your parents left. Because I wanted to share this story with you. It's a favorite, and it's close to my heart. And it's Mr. Philbin and the Unfortunate Peanut Butter. Such a favorite story of mine, and I'm so glad that you guys are here to read it with me. Okay? This is the story of Mr. Philbin and the Unfortunate Peanut Butter. And we're going to start off on the first page where we see Mr. Philbin's first interaction with peanut butter as a young boy. As you can see, Mr. Philbin was a peanut butter worshiper from the very start. He could not get enough. Day and night, he would gobble down the sweet, peanutty goodness, just begging his mother day in and day out, open another jar, please, mother, please. His little brother tried to get whatever gobs of peanut butter would fall off of his cheek, dribble down his chin, because he too enjoyed the peanut butter. But Mr. Philbin was to be undeterred because he wanted all the nutty goodness for himself. I'm going to pull this tab now and we're going to see him gorge himself. Shh. Sometimes I jiggle the tab to give it animation. Shh. Through all of his peanut gorging, Mr. Philbin thought that he had found happiness, but that was until one day when something a bit unfortunate happened. Mr. Philbin had an accident. He was gorging himself so much on the peanut butter that he actually swallowed down the wrong hole and a bit of it got stuck in his nasal cavity and he snorted and coughed up peanut butter all over the floor. His little brother at first was like, oh, more peanut butter, but then he realized, no, this was not peanut butter to be consumed. It was unfortunate for Mr. Philbin because now all that he could do was smell and taste peanut butter. It was in his brain. His mother was shocked because that was all the peanut butter that was left. She had thrown all the other jars out, thinking that it was time to have a talk with Mr. Philbin. Let's see when I pull this string how the mother and little brother react to the spilled snotty peanut butter. Shoot! As you can see, the little brother still wanted to try just a little bit. We all were inquisitive young ones. We just had to have a taste of it. On the next page, we see how Mr. Philbin deals with his life. Mr. Philbin was distraught. No matter what he did, all he could taste and smell was peanut butter. It didn't matter if he was frolicking in a glade of ferns and roses. It didn't matter if he was chewing on a steak or a piece of celery. All it was peanut butter all throughout his nose and mouth area. Now I'm going to pull this very sad tab and we're going to see his mother try to console him. Shh.
Don't eat so much peanut butter.
And by console, I mean yell at him. we all know that mothers console in funny ways. Now I'm going to pull this other tab, and we're going to see the little brother yell at him.
Why'd you lose all the peanut butter?
So obviously the little brother, much more straightforward in his admonishment of Mr. Feldman. Mr. Feldman was very down on himself. He thought that it could get no lower because he had splurted the peanut butter all over the floor, and now he had ruined peanut butter for the rest of his family. What is he going to do to redeem himself? I'm glad you asked. Because it might be on the next page. Mr. Feldman went out and picked peanuts himself, and in his rage crushed them into his little brother's mouth. He said, eat the peanuts and realize my life now. Don't become like me, little brother, don't become like me. This is no way to live. I'm going to now crank this wheel, and we're going to see Mr. Feldman sharing his peanut glory with his little brother. One last time. Crank, 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 crank. Sibling peanut butter. Now, children, you may think that it's gross, but I assure you that there is nothing closer than the bond of two brothers and freshly chewed peanuts.
The Tuesday 200 downtown portion of the showcase. I'm now going to introduce you to another 200 teacher. He's a fantastic teacher. His name is Dan Zertucci. Let's give it up for Dan!